And by the way, speaking of Jaylen Brown, let me say this. If he continues to play the way that he's been playing, he's going to win NBA Finals MVP. He will have deserved it. He'd certainly get my vote. And it forces us to revisit something that I brought up because it's very important that I bring this up, so I'm going to bring this up again. You know, when I made noise and I made news over a week ago when I talked about how somebody had texted me, and a couple of people had done it actually, and saying that he's not very well liked, people were in an uproar over that. Even the great Isaiah Thomas spoke up on his behalf, talking about he was being slandered, by whoever said that to me. Well, listen, first of all, that's assuming most people believe it. To know Jaylen Brown is to know that the brother is a star in this league and a man of high character whose reputation is unblemished in terms of him not getting into any trouble or being a distraction or a cancer to this team or anything like that. But can we grow up? Because I'm getting ready to get into Caitlin Clark in a minute, pretty much over this same subject, so why not lead into it by talking about Jaylen Brown? Jaylen Brown is a star in this league. Last 7 games since the beginning of the Eastern Conference Finals, by the way, the brother's averaging 27.3 points on 53% shooting from the field. He hit a game-time shot to send a game into overtime that saved them from an outright loss to Indiana. The brother shows up. You know, from opening tap of this NBA Finals series, he's been defending Luka Doncic. He plays on both ends of the court. He's a finisher and what have you. You know what else he is? He's an activist at heart. He's a conscientious observer. From my understanding, he's also a Muslim. Why are all of these subjects relevant? Because the brother doesn't have any endorsement deals that I can think of. Why is that? Now, don't get me wrong. I haven't had in-depth research on this subject about Jaylen Brown and his endorsement. Just from what I've heard, he might have a deal with Pepsi and Beats by Dre. I'm not sure about that, but maybe he does. I haven't seen it. I'm just saying. It's worth noting. I want to make sure everybody understands. I support Jaylen Brown. I'm not speaking against him. I'm speaking against those who have spoken against him, privately or otherwise, or who are not supporting him. Jason Tatum deserves all the love and all the shine he gets. He's the star of the team. But so is Jaylen Brown. But Jason Tatum, quiet assassin, goes out there, balls, inside and out, 6'9", with a handle, with a J, with a three-point shot, can finish at the basket, can get to the hole, can score in the open court. He also got his little son Deuce out there with him all the time. Got sneaker deals, got more commercials than anybody outside of Shaq or Snoop Dogg or Barkley or somebody. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. Right now, I think Jason Tatum has damn near as many commercials as LeBron James. This is Jason Tatum we're talking about here. I understand that he wears a Boston Celtics uniform, the most storied franchise in basketball annals, particularly assuming they win the title Friday night in Game 4. Where the hell has Jaylen Brown been playing? Hasn't he been wearing the same uniform? Hasn't he been doing his thing? Now, I know nobody's trying to get into the black-white thing or anything like that because both of the brothers are black. We're not trying to say that. And certainly there's a plethora of marquee athletes who happen to be black that have been marketed. Jaylen Brown isn't one of them. Here's the reason why. Because when you're a conscientious observer, when you're an activist at heart, when you've been at the front lines willing to tackle sensitive issues and content, willing to put your face and your name in the forefront, when you speak about the desolate and disenfranchised and how much they need our assistance, when you have a press conference while signing that $300+ million contract you agreed to last summer, you make sure to do it in a venue to highlight the problems that exist in our communities and how all of us need to contribute to doing something about it. What we're not saying is that leads to being unliked, because a lot of people just want to sit back and make their money and be quiet, and they don't want anybody to take a stance, and they don't want anybody to be politically active, and they don't want anybody to sit up there and be willing to ruffle feathers. Jaylen Brown is one of those people. Maybe that's why he doesn't have the kind of marketing deals that his teammate Jason Tatum has. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is that is grossly unfair to him. And if he wins the NBA Finals MVP, what y'all gonna say then? What y'all gonna say then? Those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. And it shouldn't be just a sneaker deal. From my understanding, he doesn't have that right now. But how many teams with dynamic duos? Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Jokic, and Jamal Murray. Dynamic duos all over the place. Who don't have a sneaker deal? Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown. What's up with that? He deserves it. If something has happened that I missed, then I apologize. But from my research and my understanding, he doesn't have these things. I haven't seen him on any commercials. Why not? Why not? He didn't even make the All-NBA team. He got my vote. I voted for him. How come he didn't make the All-NBA team? There's 15 players in the NBA better than Jaylen Brown? You sure about that? You sure about that? Boston Celtics have been in 6 conference finals since he arrived, and in NBA finals. This is second NBA finals. He's about to be a champion. All season long, they've had the best record in basketball. Where's his deal? So if we're going to be real about it, let's be real about it. Let's not stop being children and focusing on, oh, well, I don't like Stephen A., so I'm going to challenge what he said just because I don't like him. No, damn it, challenge what I'm saying. What did I say? Jaylen Brown deserves acclaim. He deserves to be hyped. He deserves to be marketed. And don't think it's an accident that I brought up religion. The other day, they asked Joe Mazzulla, the head coach of the Boston Celtics, how you feel about being you and Jason Kidd, black coaches, minority coaches, doing what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. He said, has anybody asked how many of them were Christians? Whole room got quiet because everybody's scared to touch religion. Everybody's scared to touch religion. We know that there's religious bias in this country. We know this. And there ain't a person alive that can deny that. And forgive me if I'm just wondering if indeed my info is correct, and a guy like Jaylen Brown, who is a Muslim, if that doesn't play a role in the lack of marketability. Especially in this day and age with what's going on throughout the world. And we ain't going to get into that. But you know what I'm saying. One must ask these questions. So I just asked. Rhetorically, albeit.